Hi, my name is Clara. I'm the Programs Associate here at Craft Lake City, and welcome to our virtual application assistance discussion with the Craft Lake City's Artisan Programs team. So, like I said, I'm Clara, and then this is Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm the programs administrator here at Craft Lake City, and
All right.
we'll go into some information.
Yeah, so our mission here at Craft Lake City is to educate, promote, and inspire local artisans while elevating the creative culture of the Utah arts community through science, technology, and art. All right, so some of our programming. First, we have the Youth Entrepreneur Program, which is a program that helps youth 18 and under grow their business. And applications for the spring cohort are open now if you'd like to sign up. And then we have our DIY workshops, where we partner with local venues to provide in person crafting opportunities in a variety of fun and atmospheric settings. And then we have our Celebration of the Hand and Local Voices programs, where we work with local organizations to educate, inspire, and engage the community through public installations. All right, and then we have Letter West, which is every spring, and it's a hand lettering conference that brings in lettering experts from all over to teach hands-on workshops, give speeches, and have panel discussions. And this year's Letter West is coming up April 10th to 11th if you'd like to get tickets on our website. And then we have our holiday market, which is our yearly winter market held at Ogden Union Station every first weekend in December. All right, and then we have the DIY Fest. So this year it's the 18th annual DIY Fest, and it's Craft Lake City's biggest festival, and it's the second weekend every August. All right, so what will we be covering today? So we'll kind of go over what is DIY Fest, the event dates, the types of applications, exhibitor requirements. We'll break down the application a little bit and kind of go over how to apply. We'll give some tips on taking good photos of your products. We'll go over important deadlines, our Unity initiative, and scholarship options. And then at the end, we will take any questions or go over some frequently asked questions.
Cool.
All right, so what is the DIY Fest? The annual Craft Lake City DIY Festival is Utah's largest festival showcasing only local talent in art, music, science, and technology. And it presents over 500 local artisans, vintage vendors, craft foodies, food trucks, youth entrepreneurs, performers, and STEM exhibitors. Right, when and where is the DIY Fest? So the DIY Fest takes place at the Utah State Fair Park every year, which is in downtown Salt Lake City, and it's the second weekend in August. It's Friday, August 7th, Saturday, August 8th, and Sunday, August 9th. And now we'll go
Cool.
over the types of applications.
Thanks, Claire. So some of the application types, artisan and vintage curators. So some of the subcategories you'll see on the application are accessories, apparel, artwork, embroidery and fiber arts, home decor, jewelry, mission-driven type project. Those are to name a few. And there will also be two options for this if you have different categories you can pick. And then our next one is craft food. So craft food is anything from handcrafted and artisanal varieties of prepackaged food. This differs from our next category, commercial foods. So this is anything that's edible that's prepared in advance, but it's not presented at the festival as to be made there. So that differs where you'll have to have a food permit for commercial food. So commercial food is anything from like a food truck, an established food business that you'll basically be preparing at the festival. And we have a couple categories within our commercial food, small and large. Small commercial food vendors are something like a food truck, something that doesn't have a brick and mortar, whereas a large commercial, there's established brick and mortars, or you have a bunch of food trucks. So you'll see those categories as well. And you'll also need a food permit if you're commercial food as well. Our next category is performers. So this is solo artists, bands, dance companies, multicultural performance groups, anything with original work, which is another aspect, is it has to be original. And also, performers are paid at our DIY festival, which is really great. And our next category is our STEM exhibitors. So our STEM is anything rooted with science and technology, engineering, mathematics. These include things like demonstrations, educational displays. We have indie game groups. We have environmental science. We've had robotics. So sky's the limit with STEM. There's all sorts of different things. It's a lot of educational aspects, and yeah, it's really great. And then our next one is Kid Row. Kid Row is our youth market that's part of DIY Festival, and this is ages that are below 18. So if you're over 18, you can't be part of the Kid Row, and you'll have to apply as a regular artisan. And this also includes our Youth Entrepreneur Program that Claire mentioned earlier, that they will go into Kid Row as part of this program. So that's really cool. And exhibitor requirements. So this is getting into the time limits you'll see as well for what you would like to participate as. So we have 3-day options, which would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a 2-day option, which is actually just Friday and Saturday, and then a 1-day option, which is only on Sunday. So we don't allow for choosing like Friday and Sunday or a Saturday and Sunday. It just gets really complicated and complex when we do that. So we offer a 3-day, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, or a 2-day with Friday and Saturday again, and then Sunday only if you're wanting to exhibit 1 day. Everybody must be a Utah specific resident. So, and then everything handmade, designed by you, and nothing, not bringing in other products that other people made. So that's the great thing about DIY Festival. And here's some of the breakdown of what we're going to go through for the application, just an overview. So you'll go through and pick your category, subcategory. You'll fill out your business, contact information, categories, what your product is, fill out some information there. If you've applied before, you'll go through a booth size. This will also have days as well tied to it. So days, booth size, that makes sense to you. Demographic information, photos. This is a very important part as well because we have a jurying process, outside jurors that help us pick and finalize our exhibitors, and these really help them understand your product a lot more and sell it to them. So so I would highlight the photos are super important with your application in that sense. And then application fee, and we'll go over all of this next. Cool.
Right. So now we're going to kind of go over the actual application itself. So when you open the application, it should look like this. It has the promo on the top, and it's the 18th annual. All right. And then next we have the login page, or if you're a new applicant. So if you are returning since 2025, or you've already created an account, you can log in on the left there with that blue button. And if you have not, or you applied, last time you applied was before 2025, you're going to want to create a new account because it doesn't carry over unless it's 2025. So you can,
Yeah.
if you're starting a new account, just do the one on the right. Right, and now you're going to choose your application type. So whichever category that we just went over that you fall under, you're going to want to select that. It's really important because it does dictate kind of the types of questions that it'll go over, and there's just some specifics that differ between a couple of the categories. And then you're going to want to enter in your email, and you'll want to make sure that it's email that you check regularly, as this is going to be our main point of contact regarding your application status. All right, and then you're going to want to do a password, and again, do a password that you can remember or save it, write it down anywhere, and then you're just going to do the little CAPTCHA thing and type in the letters, and then you can continue.
Cool. And then you'll start filling out basic information, first name, last name, business name, just a quick bio about your business, which will also be used on our website. So anything that you want to be presented and seen about your business, you put in your bio right here. Website URL, any social handles. Again, these are also useful information to add because we will be adding our exhibitors to our website, and it'll be easy for people to find you. We've had many people, especially after the market, asking, hey, did you know where this person was or what they did? So this is a great way for them to find you. If they can see your product, they can get your socials, their website. It's just a good opportunity to kind of market yourself and allow people to find you after. And then this one, you'll go put your phone number, email address, make sure it's an email address you're checking regularly so we can get all the information to you. And another important aspect is your mailing address. And this is especially useful for tax information that the state will send you. We don't send the tax information, the state will. We work with them to get that out to you. They'll send it a couple weeks after the festival. So important to put the correct email address, as well as we send complimentary tickets out to our exhibitors as well.
All right,
And
so additional information. So we already kind of went over the categories, but this is where you would put in like your subcategory. And so depending on whichever application you're filling out, it'll have the subcategory for that bigger exhibitor category. Alrighty, and then if there's another category that your work falls under, another subcategory, you can select that there. So if you're selling multiple products that fall into different categories, this is when you can put the secondary one.
And then, so this is a section based on what your product looks like and if it's handmade or not. So we have some policies that we try to work work with to make sure that, a DIY festival do it yourself is applied. So are your products handmade? What percentage of them isn't? And just kind of explain these information in here to help best understand. We also ask about AI and if there's any part of your work and to let us know kind of the process and what you've used if you do use AI, just because we would like to especially make that known to our attendees if there is a level of AI, just to keep transparency open. And then you'll be asked if this is your first time applying, and there's some benefit to that. If it is your first time applying, we do have some Unity Initiative programs and opportunities there as well that we'll go over later. And then just some information if you have applied, what years, and then the next one would be your booth size. Do you want to go over that,
All
Claire?
right. Yes. So here is where you will select your ideal space size for your booth. And we will try to honor your request as best we can. However, at the end of the day, it does come down to our inventory and what we have available. So we will try to prioritize your request, but we cannot 100% guarantee. Right. And then here we go. And so if you'd like to share a booth with another exhibitor, you can fill that out here. You can put their name, and you'll want to be sure that they also put your name and request you in their application so we can put you together. And then you'll put like if only one of you gets in, do you still want to exhibit? And would you rather have an indoor or an outdoor space? Yep.
And then you go over days, like we went over the days previously, picking the days that would make sense to you. So these are some of the options. And then if you're immediately accepted, would you be willing to be put on a wait list? So just some basic questions based on your application needs. And also accessibility. Please feel free to fill out whatever that means for you, accessibility wise. If you would like to be located in a certain area, near a bathroom, just anything that makes sense to you, we would like to try to accommodate you as best as we can. We definitely look into those. So any accessibility needs, please feel free to, note that. And then some demographic questions and how did you hear about us? And some other basic questions about this. Keep going. Demographic. Right. And just some more basic questions about your personal income, things like that, household income. All right. And then on to photos.
All right. Yes. So this is actually one of the most important sections of the application. Like Jeremy mentioned earlier, Photos are the main way in which the jury selects who exhibits at the DIY Fest. So you want to make sure that your photos exhibit your work clearly and kind of show exactly what you're selling. You'll also want to make sure that your photos are under 10 megabytes. So this is very important because if they're over, then they won't load and we won't be able to view them. And you'll also want to make sure that they're JPEG, JPG, or PNGs. So if you took like a live photo on your phone, you can't upload that. You'll have to either screenshot it so that it's just a still image and upload it there. Um, and if you do need any assistance taking photos, or you're not sure if you're very skilled at taking photos, or you're just kind of nervous, you can come to our in-person Application Assistance Day on March 18th, where a professional photographer can take your photos for you for free.
When's that again?
March 18th,
Cool. Awesome.
2026.
2026. Cool.
All right, and then your featured image is what will be shown on your exhibitor profile on our website. So it can be your favorite example of your work or whatever photo you feel like best represents your brand. You can do a headshot too if you would like, especially if you're like a performance group. So yeah, that's kind of just going to be like the main image that represents you. All right, so then here's some tips for taking good photos of your products. So again, like I said, March 18th, if you are kind of stressed by the idea of taking nice photos, come on in and we can get that done for you for free. So it's good to have a good light source. So think about like natural lighting or lamps, just be intentional with the shadows. You'll want to avoid backlighting. Lighting coming from behind the subject makes it difficult to see. Think of like the solar eclipse, right? You don't want it to be like super dark. And then you'll want to be aware of your shadows, be aware of any that are falling onto the subject. You don't want them covering any important parts of your product. Do consistency, make sure your shots are nice and stable. Either get a tripod or you can stack it on some books just so they're in the same spot and it looks professional and minimizes blurriness because there's no one standing there like shaking the photo. And then background, the simpler the better. That allows your products to pop. Be aware as to what's in the background of the shot so it doesn't distract from your product.
Okay. Then after the photos, you'll see an agreement. So these are just agreement to the application. Go through those, read the information. And then a big part of the finishing the application is the application fee. The application isn't considered done until the fee is paid and submitted. So you'll see that at the very end. If you're having issues submitting it, it's because the application fee has not been paid. And so you'll see those on the top of the page. And the application fee is $25. This is really useful for, admin purposes and really just getting everything organized for this event with all these applications. So it really helps us a lot. Then important dates and deadlines. So our in-person application assistance day, like we said, it was.
It's the 18th. It's wrong
I
on
was
the
gonna say.
slide.
I was gonna
Thought I
say. I
fixed
think
it.
that's.
Thought I fixed it. We were in between the 2 days for a little. So it
Yeah.
is, but the time is correct. So it's just March 18th, 4:30 to 7:30.
Yeah. March 18th, 4:30 to 7:30 in person at the public library. You can register at this URL. We can also send it out after this meeting as well so you can have that information and link and information. There's March 26th. And then our applications close on March 26th. So try to be sure to get them in before then because we have during and everything that happens afterwards. So it's important that that deadline is met. And then we announce our lineup on April 23rd, which I'm stoked about. Cool. And scholarships. We announce our
All
scholarships
right.
too, which goes into our uni initiative. So,
Yep. So we have a scholarship and mentor program, our application assistance and support. We have our sponsored entrepreneur program and our sponsored families program. Right. So our scholarship and mentor program, scholarship applications, they close with the regular application. So you want to be sure to get both of those in before March 26th. And in addition, yeah, so just be sure to submit both of those. And there are multiple, Jeremy will go over more details into the programs.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this is our scholarship and mentor program. This includes, we have some different categories depending on what you fit under. So there will be some information. So if you are a first-time exhibitor, if there's any entry barriers that you have as an exhibitor, can be some opportunities that could help you get into the festival. So we have a mentoring, uh, so our scholarship and mentor program specifically is with another mentor that's been part of our festival. So you have that on the next slide, but been part of our festival. They will have one-on-ones with an exhibitor, and they will walk you through what like makes for good markets and just really help you get prepared beforehand and during the festival, and just make sure you're set up for success. There's opportunities to waive booth fees as well, small business training, and networking and development opportunities. And our Unity Initiative program for our scholarship and mentor, one of the categories is the Artisan Scholarship for local makers, emphasis on emerging artisans who fall below the 50% area medium income bracket. So if you fall below this would be an opportunity for you as well. Our LGBTQ plus scholarship, focus on those who identify as part of the LGBTQ plus community and work promotes. So if it falls under any of those categories, you could categorize under this. And then our art ability for local makers with a focus on with disabilities or for those who promote visibility and acceptance of the disabled community. So another good category for our mentor program. And then just information on our DIY Fest Unity Initiative. So the Unity Initiative is what categorizes all of our accessibility programs. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to info@craftlakecity.com. Also, if you are a representative of the community, organization, or interested in making a nomination for participants in the sponsored families or sponsored entrepreneur programs, you can contact us. These are also great programs. We work with other organizations to allow families and individuals who have a hard time going to certain events. We allow them free entry and like food vouchers. And so it's really just getting everybody involved and trying to allow people that have a hard time participating in events and things like this. We just want them to be also part of the community. So we really love this program a lot. So yeah.
All right, so now we can kind of go over some questions that we get quite often. And if there are any questions that you have that we go over, please email us at artisancoordinator@craftlakecity.com and we will get back to you. All right, so the first question, Jeremy, does Craft Lake City charge a commission on sales?
We do not. I think I don't have that up there though, but
Okay,
can
I can kind of go
I?
over
Yeah,
if
I was gonna say I
yeah,
don't have that information
I
directly.
could get it. Yeah, I'll go over them. So,
Cool, thank
Craft Lake
you.
City, we enact our mission to uplift local creative businesses by providing a platform for local makers to sell their wares, gain exposure in the creative community, and by not charging a commission on sales. This allows exhibitors to receive 100% of the profits made by selling their handmade products at the annual Craft Lake City DIY Festival. Another question that we do get is, okay, I live in a neighboring state like Idaho, Colorado, Nevada. Can I participate as an exhibitor or performer? And because the annual Craft Lake City DIY Festival is a highlight of Utah's best creatives, as of right now, participants must currently reside and operate in the state of Utah.
Yeah. So
Another very
that
common,
means,
yeah,
oh, sorry, I just wanted to kind of
no, go
clarify
ahead.
on the residency. So having the residency, and if you're a business, having a base here as well. So there are companies that operate within Utah, but they don't have a base or brick and mortar. So those things are important to qualify or consider you to be accepted. And so those are some things to look at, just because we really try to focus on the Utah centric culture and getting everybody there that's, residents. So
All right. And then next is, what is the price of electricity and why is it expensive? So, price of electricity, it is $150, and the reason why it is expensive is because access to electricity at the event is very, very limited. Therefore, to discourage a high volume of power usage, Crab Lake City charges a premium fee for access to electricity during the festival. We do very careful planning and testing to make sure that we meet the needs of those who have paid for electricity And exhibitors who have not disclosed their power needs before the event may be penalized and charged on an immediate on the spot payment for power use. Exceeding our power allotment could result in power outages, and that would not be good for anyone at the festival. And we just recommend that if you do need electricity, that you bring portable chargers and batteries that don't require electricity for cell phones, iPads, and other electronics. Like if you have an iPad that you use for payment processing, we recommend that you bring a portable charger or battery. And kind of
Yeah.
going along with that, yeah, would you have anything to add to that, Jeremy?
Yeah, you said batteries and chargers and things, so you can bring a generator. If you have like a
Yeah.
big generator, not huge, but but big enough, you can bring a generator as well to power all your needs. So
Yep. All right. And then kind of in similar kind of category is, will I have access to Wi-Fi at the event? And to ensure a positive experience, please plan on bringing a hotspot device or using data to access the internet to process digital payments while on site at the festival. And there's a huge number of people that come to the festival. And so on site, Crawford Lake City we can't offer a secured or reliable Wi Fi connection for exhibitors just because there's so many people, a lot of it's outside. So if that is something you absolutely depend on for your business, we highly recommend that you bring either a hotspot or you have good data. Jeremy, anything to add to that one?
no, I think that was great. Yeah.
All right. And then we have, what does the
Oh,
exhibitor fee cover? So, exhibitor fees cover the venue rental costs associated with the space allocated to you during the duration of the DIY Fest, as well as the labor involved with preparing the venue because it takes a lot. It takes hundreds and hundreds of people to get it all set up. And it also we dedicate a significant administrative time to planning the logistics, exhibitor communications, and curating the lineup for this event. So these exhibitor fees also go towards these expenses. And Jeremy, anything else to add?
no, yeah, we
All right.
sometimes I did want to highlight that because I do think that is a point of uh I guess frustration at times for exhibitors is the price, but there's a lot of times I've heard feedback in the sense of like seeing all the things that we put in back into promoting the festival and building the festival, and it's sometimes hard to see all that kind of from a certain perspective, but there's a lot that goes into it. So understanding that the prices are high, it really helps us put on these festivals and really bring a great festival to everybody. So yeah,
Yeah, we're a nonprofit. We can't do what we do without
a little
support.
support.
So yeah. All right. And those are kind of all of the frequently asked questions that we have. But again, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to email us at Artisan Coordinator. And also, we do have frequently asked questions up on our website. So you can check there and see if your question falls under any of those and if you can find an answer there. So,
Awesome. Just thanks to our sponsors, and that's
yeah.
everything. So
Yes. All
cool.
right. Thank
Thanks,
you for
everybody.
watching.